Biden 2024 is mad that Joe Biden looks like he's 2024 years old. Or at least that's what you'd believe if you're looking at malicious online videos, insidiously known as cheap fakes. You've seen them. It's Joe Biden wandering off from the other G7 leaders at the summit last week, having to be pulled back by Giorgia Meloni, or seemingly freezing while listening to music during the White House's Juneteenth celebration. And then just this weekend being escorted off stage by Barack Obama at an LA fundraiser. They're misleading. They're weirdly edited. They're cheap fakes.
And I think you all have called this the cheap fakes video, and that's exactly what they are. They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad faith.
Cheap fakes, right from the mouth of Karine Jean-Pierre, the White House press secretary. This term surprised me because I'm a politically obsessed internet miscreant and I'd never heard the term cheap fakes before. Thankfully, articles in the Washington Post and NBC News explained it to me. While deep fakes, NBC News writes, are misleading audio, video, or images that are created or edited with artificial intelligence technologies, a cheap fake, according to researchers Britt Paris and Joan Donovan, is a manipulation created with cheaper, more accessible software or none at all. Cheap fakes can be rendered through Photoshop, lookalikes, recontextualizing footage, speeding, or slowing. Pictures and videos selectively cropped and edited, sped up and slowed down, put with ominous music and grayscale. Oh, so all political videos. Thanks to our YouTube channel, we've recently gotten a lot of new eyeballs on this program. So let me explain something that is a core tenet of the Politics program. We are not here to propagandize for one campaign or the other. There's a lot of people that do that on YouTube or on the podcast directory that you're listening to right now, and they do a fantastic job. May their favorite team win and everybody have fun. What I want to do is provide a service that tells you whether or not the propaganda that your side is putting out is working. They are all attempting to shape the narrative, and my hope is that with wit and insight, I can tell you whether or not that's effective. So let's get to something core about messaging and specifically shaping a narrative. You can't shape a narrative that doesn't want to be shaped. The best political communicators understand there's a wellspring of energy somewhere and they create a totem to take advantage of it. Are you tired of foreign wars? Well, maybe you want hope. Do you believe that you're not getting the America that you were promised? Then maybe we should make it great again. Videos of Joe Biden looking like a doddering elder are not going viral because Cat Turd 2 posts them on Elon Musk's Twitter. They are not shaping the national conversation because the New York Post puts it on their cover. They are doing so because a large enough section of America believes Joe Biden is very old and they are interested in seeing visual evidence that confirms their intuitions. The Democrats can't do anything about how old Joe Biden is. And so, his re-election campaign complaining about these videos and elevating a lame techno-babble label for it only draws attention to something that hurts them and they have no answer for. For our younger viewers, this is called the Streisand effect. It's named after the singer and actress Barbra Streisand. There was a picture of her house on the internet and she wanted it taken off. The fight over that picture wound up drawing infinitely more attention to her address and pictures of her house than ever would have happened if she had just sat down and shut up about it. Or if you want a more recent example, you can look at Barbra Streisand drawing attention to this issue on her Twitter last night. I gotta say, this was actually pretty cool. It was like watching Dr. Heimlich remove a blockage from somebody's throat in real time. Salute to you, Babs. Beyond tremendous self-destruction, getting into a fight about politically edited videos is somewhere between hypocritical and pointless. Every campaign does it. Every surrogate to a campaign probably does it worse. Here's an example. This is one of Joe Biden's final ads for his 2020 campaign.
Hatred on the streets of Charlottesville last night. White nationalists carrying torches.
It was a weekend of street battles and stark displays of racism.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
We are in a battle for the soul.
Okay, let's stop here. That Donald Trump soundbite, very fine people on both sides, was not just a clip in that commercial. It was a major theme for Joe Biden's entire campaign. In fact, in his debut video, he said it was the reason why he was running. So let's take a look at the full clip of Donald Trump giving that press conference where that specific soundbite came from.
Neo-Nazis started this. They showed up in Charlottesville. They showed up in Charlottesville to protest.
Excuse me, they didn't put themselves down as neo, and you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. No, George Washington was a slave owner.
Okay, we're going to skip ahead a few seconds in this because Donald Trump rambles.
You had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay?
Obviously, the very fine people clip is diluted when you add Donald Trump very clearly denouncing neo-Nazis and white supremacists. Does it make the use of that soundbite a cheap fake because you've selectively edited a clip to make your opponent look like an outwardly terrible person? No! Is it unfair? Is it undignified? I don't know. Go to your partisan programs where those kinds of things matter. Here, we're in the business of wondering who wins. And part of the reason that Joe Biden won is because stuff like that stuck to Trump. Why? Because Donald Trump was a chaotic outsider and people were concerned about what that chaos would lead into the government. For never-Trumpers, it was an erosion of norms. For Democrats, it was literal anti-Semites and Nazis. Political speech isn't fair. It's meant to persuade. It's meant to get more people into a booth to hit your candidate's button than your opponent's button on a predetermined day. For Biden 2024, every second they spend talking to a journalist or answering questions about a persuasive viral video that hurts their cause, they are not elevating a persuasive viral video that can elevate their cause. Yeah, Biden's old. Steer into the skid. Hand out Werther's Originals to all the press corps when they walk in. Make a video about Joe Biden writing a $10 check to his grandchild. And then say, look, I'm old as dirt, but I'm old enough to remember when the Supreme Court was balanced. I'm old enough to remember when abortion didn't divide us in the way that we are divided now. I'm here to answer for all of those. I'm giving you a reason to vote in November for Joe Biden, even though you have reservations about my age. Or you can elevate the video where it looks like Joe Biden is pooping his pants. I mean, what do I know? Biden 2024, you guys are the professionals. I'm just a barking dog on the internet.